Hello students, let us begin with a new lesson today. Reproduction in plants. Have you ever wondered how plants reproduce? Are there different ways, methods in which they grow? And why all these things are needed? We will see this in these modules. Let us understand what does one mean by reproduction. Reproduction is nothing but production or producing new individuals from parents. What are the benefits? Why to reproduce? Simple, to survive, for existence of a particular species, and also over a period of time this leads to evolution. More and more defined structures are being created. If the plants are reproducing, how do they reproduce is the next question. Well, they have got their vegetative and reproductive parts. I hope you recollect what you had studied in class 6 about various different parts of a flowering plant. Maybe you can recollect about roots, stems, leaves, then flowers and seeds. So we will be taking all these into consideration when you are going to study reproduction in plants this year. So there are modes in which a plant reproduces. One is through asexual or through vegetative propagation, and the other is through sexual means. Let's understand what are the various vegetative parts of a plant. I have pasted few pictures for you to really visualize them. Roots are the vegetative parts, so they can give rise to new plants. Roots. Stem. Planting a stem will give rise to a new plant in certain species. That's a vegetative plant. A leaf. A leaf of a plant when sown gives rise to a new individual. That is a vegetative part. So if these are few examples of vegetative part, have a look at what are reproductive parts of a plant. Flowers. All of us love them, we see them. They are all reproductive parts of a plant. And seeds that we sow, that germinate to give rise to a new plant, that is a reproductive part of a plant. Before we actually start in identifying various methods in which reproduction in plants occurs, let us first try and differentiate between asexual and sexual reproduction. Look at the first point. Asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. Whereas in sexual reproduction, there are both male and female reproductive parts which are involved. In asexual reproduction, there is no seed generation. Seeds are not produced. Whereas sexual reproduction, they yield seeds. That is why we considered seed as a reproductive part of a plant. Asexual reproduction, they have limited ability to adapt to the environmental changes because number of variations that is seen or is comparatively less as compared to sexual reproduction, which has better ability to adapt to an environment. Now asexual reproduction, more number of plants can be grown in less time. You want a big harvest, and that too now it will depend upon the variety of the plant. So more number of plants in less time, asexual reproduction. Whereas sexual reproduction, comparatively less number of plants. Compared to asexual reproduction, comparatively less number of plants are produced. Asexual reproductions, since there is no seed, there are no gametes that are formed, whereas sexual reproduction, they involve formation of male and female gametes. And asexual reproduction, offsprings are identical to their parents. They look just the same as to their parents. Whereas in sexual reproduction, since it is a combination of both male and female reproductive part, the offspring or the next generation shows more genetic variation. So please make sure there are more pointers in this. However, at this level, we will stick to all these 6 differences in terms of sexual and asexual reproduction in plants.